Welcome to the shooting show. I'm Peter Carr. This week, Tim Pilbeam gets behind the rifle and shares his top tips for success. We've also got the latest news in shooting. First, we are in Africa, looking for one of the dark continent's toughest antelope, the oryx, otherwise known as the gemsbok. Anyone who enjoys a bit of lamping will know that it doesn't matter how warm it is, you get pretty cold tearing around the countryside on top of a truck or a quad. It's exactly the same in Africa, so if you do get a chance to hunt there, pack fleeces as well as the old Courtney boots. This morning, Juan and Fernando from Zeiss Sports Optics in Spain are heading off to try and hunt an oryx in Namibia. It's one of my favourite times of day, long shadows making the African bush look amazing, and it's a good time to see what is moving about. Below us are red hartebeest, but no oryx.
At the moment we have around about 2,000 oryx in this area, and we want just to reduce the population a little bit in order to let the other species become more space. That like the kudu, red hartebeest and the blue and black wildebeest. So that's why we try to do a little bit of work on the oryx as well.
The guide must have missed breakfast, as he munches on some seeds he's grabbed from a nearby bush. The advice is not to enjoy this particular local delicacy, it might just ruin your trip. The next copy does offer our first chance of the morning, but these guys have heard us coming and soon disappear. Just like in the UK, you get all sorts of styles of guiding in Africa. Some are calmer than others, but when they see the opportunity, they do try and hurry you along. I find the best idea is to work quickly but concentrate on your shot and not the guy next to you saying shoot, 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 which can be somewhat off-putting. It's now time to do some stalking and we cover a few kilometres on foot. Suddenly the guide stops and guides Fernando onto the sticks. An oryx is looking straight at us. It's not side on and Fernando asks about shot placement. He's told to go for a full-on chest shot. The oryx drops. These animals are notorious for running. They live in a very harsh environment and their hide is as tough as my old house mistress. However, this animal has fallen where it stood.
El rececho ha sido muy emocionante, ya que llevamos todo el día de ayer que no pudimos tirar a ninguno ni lo tuvimos a tiro, pero hoy, después de dos resechos, pues a nos hemos acercado bastante y hemos podido dispararlo. Ha sido muy emocionante, ya que es el primer animal en África y ha sido muy divertido y nos hemos pasado muy bien.
We need to get the truck to the oryx and not the other way around. This can mean moving rocks and felling trees to get near enough to avoid dropping a bollock. Eventually the truck's in place and it takes 4 guys to get this big animal into the back. The oryx is a great first trophy for Africa as long as you've got enough space to fit the horns above the fireplace. After many years hunting in Namibia, I can testify to how tough the oryx really are. And now, the shooting show news.
This is the shooting show news. Plans to study methods of non-lethal buzzard control are at risk of being delayed. The proposed 3-year trial on an unnamed estate in Northumberland has brought DEFRA under pressure from various groups and charities, including the RSPB. DEFRA has stressed the project is a fact-finding exercise looking into the effects of avian predators on game bird populations. The current UK buzzard population is estimated to be around 500,000 birds. 2 shooters face a fight for one Olympic place after the British Olympic Association was unable to name the final member of the Team GB shooting squad. Charlotte Curwood and Abby Burton are vying for selection for the women's trap event. Curwood is higher ranked at 13th in the world, but Burton has been the one making headlines, winning gold at the ISSF World Cup. An external panel will make the decision this month. South African police have found 10 rhino horns in a raid on a Johannesburg apartment after an anonymous tip-off. The Vietnamese man has been arrested, and as well as the rhino horns, they found an elephant tusk, several travel documents from different Asian countries and 5 million rand in cash. More than 200 rhino have been poached already this year in South Africa, but there have been 165 arrests. The proposed badger cull in England is set to face its challenges in the High Court of Justice. The judicial review, lodged by the Badger Trust, is set for the 25th and 26th of June. 2 pilot areas were set to test the effects of a badger cull this year in a bid to control the spread of bovine tuberculosis and save cattle. It has been estimated that without intervention, TB in cattle could cost the taxpayer £1 billion over the next decade. There's been some confusion over the airgun shooters representing Team GB at this year's Olympics. We've now had it confirmed that despite a press release only listing each shooter competing in one discipline, Gorg Geeky and James Huckle will be shooting air guns in 10-metre pistol and 10-metre air rifle respectively. They'll be joining Scotland's most successful female Commonwealth Games athlete, Jen McIntosh, in representing British airgun interest. And finally, Mark Windsor has won the English Open Sporting after a tight shoot-off with Scott Greenfield and Brett Hand. This is the second time Windsor has won the prestigious event. That's the Shooting Show News. All you need to know about what goes bang and what falls over.
And now we join Sporting Rifles' Tim Pilbeam for his straight shooting tips.
Bipods seem to be very, very popular nowadays.
2 main points here. Get as low as you possibly can. When you're shooting prone, many people put their hands on the front and some around the pistol grip. The most convenient way is actually have your V of your hand near the thumb. Put it underneath the butt of the stock. If you want to, grab hold of your jacket. And if you squeeze your hand up and down, it will actually move the rifle up and down.
Thanks for watching. We're out every Monday, 7:30 PM UK time. Next week, we're at the Clay Classic with George Digweed. This is The Shooting Show.